Dads, what's the most ridiculous lie you told your kid that completely backfired? My son found my brother's military photo. Jake died in Afghanistan before Liam was born. Who's that? Liam asked, eyes wide. Your uncle Jake. He was a soldier. That night, Liam couldn't sleep. Dad, I'm scared of the dark. What if bad guys come? I grabbed my watch. This Guardian watch belonged to Uncle Jake. Press this button, and it signals soldiers who protect you. The watch became his security blanket. When he asked if I'd been a soldier too, I hesitated, then nodded. Your uncle and I served together. The lie grew. I borrowed details from Jake's letters and movies. Liam told everyone about his heroic dad and uncle. His school announced a Veterans Day assembly. Dad, you have to come in uniform. His teacher cornered me. Liam signed you up to speak. The whole school's waiting. I found Jake's uniform and wore it to school. At the microphone, I froze. I need to tell the truth. I was never a soldier. My brother was. I lied because I wanted to be a hero to my son. Liam ran out crying and refused to speak to me for weeks. He threw the watch at me. It's just a stupid watch. I called Jake's commander, who brought soldiers to our home. They shared real stories and gave Liam Jake's actual service medal. Was anything true? Liam asked that night, holding the medal. Everything about Jake was. I thought being a soldier was the only way to be brave. After a nightmare, Liam clutched the medal. Does this protect me like the watch did? No, I said. But I do. Not because I'm a hero, because I'm your dad.
What was something spine-chilling that a parent said to you? My mother's last words to me were, check the attic, but it took me 5 years to understand what she meant. Mom was always the practical one. Her love was in the details, in the way she remembered everyone's favorite foods and kept photo albums meticulously labeled. When I was 22, I got my dream job offer, a position at an international aid organization working in refugee camps across Southeast Asia. The only problem was that Mom had been diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer just 3 months earlier. I can't leave now, I told her beside her hospital bed. The doctors had given her 6 months, maybe less. She reached for my hand, her skin paper thin. You have to go, she said firmly. This is what you've worked for. But you need me here, I argued. Dad had died when I was in high school, and my brother was away at college. There would be no one to take care of her. I've already made arrangements, she said. I need you to promise me you'll take that job. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. How can you ask me to leave you like this? She squeezed my hand with surprising strength, because watching you give up your dreams would be far more painful than dying alone. Those words haunted me. We argued about it for days until finally I agreed. 2 weeks later, I was on a plane to Thailand, waiting for updates from Aunt Linda. Mom lasted 4 months. I was in a remote village when the call came. I couldn't even make it back for the funeral. The guilt was crushing. I'd abandoned her in her final moments for a job. I threw myself into my work, extending my contract twice. 5 years passed before I finally returned to our family home to clean it out and sell it. On my 3rd day back, I found a letter from the hospice nurse who'd been with Mom at the end. Your mother spoke of you constantly. Her last coherent words were, tell Sarah to check the attic. I hope this means something to you. I'd completely forgotten about our attic. That night, I climbed up with a flashlight, unsure what I was looking for. In the far corner, I found a trunk I'd never seen before. Inside were dozens of journals, Mom's handwriting filling every page. I opened one from around the time I was born and began to read. I never wanted children, the entry began. My heart stopped. I was terrified of becoming my mother, cold, critical, never satisfied. When I found out I was pregnant, I cried for days. I almost closed the journal then, but something made me continue. But then they placed Sarah in my arms, and something broke open inside me. I looked at her tiny face and made a vow. She would never doubt she was loved. She would never feel the way I did growing up. I read through the night. Mom had documented everything. Her fears about parenting, her pride in my accomplishments, her struggle to show affection when it had never been shown to her. The final journal contained entries from her last months. Sarah wants to stay with me instead of taking the job, she'd written. I can't let her do that. My mother kept me tethered to her with guilt until the day she died. I've spent my whole life making sure Sarah would be different, strong, independent, free. If my final act is to force her to live her own life, then so be it. The last entry was dated 3 days before she died. I've hidden these journals all my life. Sarah should know the truth, that loving her taught me how to be human, that sending her away was the hardest and most important thing I've ever done. I hope someday she'll forgive me. I sat in that dusty attic until sunrise, surrounded by my mother's hidden heart. All those years, I'd thought she'd dismissed my feelings, when really she'd been saving me from her own painful history.
My company fired me despite my role in growing its valuation from $200,000 to $35 billion. The boss simply said, the CEO's daughter is replacing you. You're fired. I just smiled and walked out. No drama, no begging. The CEO's daughter, Madison, was already sitting in my chair scrolling through Instagram while I packed my stuff. Thanks for keeping it warm, she said with this smug little grin. Daddy says this job is perfect for someone with my creative vision. Creative vision, right? This girl had never worked a day in her life. What they didn't know was that I wasn't just some random employee. For 12 years, I had been the ghost behind their success. Every major client, I brought them in through personal relationships I'd built over decades. Every deal worth millions. I negotiated personally, often working 80-hour weeks. But here's the thing. All those clients weren't loyal to the company name on the building. They were loyal to me. They trusted me with their life savings, their retirement funds, their kids' college money. My phone started buzzing before I even reached the parking garage. The first call was from Robert Chen, our biggest client. We heard you left. We're pulling our $50 million contract immediately. Second call, if you're not there, neither are we. You've handled our account for 8 years. Third call, we don't trust anyone else with our portfolio. By the time I got home, My voicemail was full. Clients were furious. Some were crying. These weren't just business relationships. I'd been to their kids' weddings, helped them through divorces, celebrated their retirements. By noon the next day, 23 clients had canceled. That was $2.8 billion in revenue gone. The company's stock price dropped 40% in a single morning. Madison lasted exactly 4 hours before she was sobbing in the bathroom. Turns out Daddy's little princess couldn't handle angry millionaires screaming at her about their money. She quit via text. At 3 p.m., my old boss Marcus showed up at my apartment, sweating through his $3,000 suit and looking like he hadn't slept. His hands were literally shaking. "Please," he said before I could even speak, "come back. We'll triple your salary. We'll give you equity." The board is furious. Madison quit. 3 department heads resigned. We're bleeding money. I let him inside, made him a coffee, let him sit there panicking. "Marcus," I said, "remember when I asked for that raise last year? You said the company couldn't afford it. And when I suggested hiring junior advisors to help with the workload, you said we needed to cut costs." He nodded quickly. "We can fix all of that. Whatever you want." I slid a business card across the table. "Funny thing is, I already started my own firm this morning. Filed the LLC yesterday. Thanks for the push." His face went pale as he read the card. "Elite Financial Advisory. Personalized service. Proven results. And thanks for the client list," I said. "Turns out, when you treat people like family for 12 years, they follow you anywhere." "You can't," he said. "We have non-compete clauses." "Check my contract again, Marcus. I was classified as an independent contractor. You did that to avoid paying benefits. Non-competes don't apply." Silence. I told him that 18 of our biggest clients had already signed with my new firm. I told him I had been planning my exit for months after watching the CEO hand positions to incompetent family members. He left, looking like a ghost. 2 weeks later, the CEO himself came to my new office. I'd already rented space downtown. He was practically begging, offering partnership, promising to remove Madison permanently. "Too little, too late," I told him. "Your daughter cost you everything because you thought family name mattered more than competence." 6 months later, their company lost 65% of its client base. They had to sell the downtown office and move to a strip mall. Madison became an influencer selling weight loss tea on Instagram.